Might need to turn your headphones down a little bit. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All right, getting it together on a Friday.
Okay, coming through. Can you hear me?
Check 1 2 1 2.
1 2 1 2.
All right, let's get it moving. Let's get it rolling. All right, I think we're ready to roll. Hey, hey, hey. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to a fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul Beee. He's buddy to Gawd. What's going on, man? It is Friday, August 22nd already, 2025. Appreciate everybody joining us early this morning. It is still so early over here. It's crazy, crazy. West Coast. I don't see how y'all do it.
Man,
But there's Pops already. He said good Friday morning. Mad love from Las Vegas. Appreciate you, Pops.
Thank you.
Judy Princess said, let's go. She ready.
Okay. Woke up ready. Woke up ready. How's the hip feeling? How you doing?
Yeah. How you guys doing? Let us know what's going on a Friday, man. We're all here. Thanks, Pops. Appreciate that. We're all here looking for things to do, apparently, with the Friday happening. Leah Keister in the chat giving us the word puzzle.
Man, yeah, I feel like I haven't done it in a while. Happy Fry, yip, yay, yo, yay. Yip, yo, yay, yip, yo, yay.
Hey, that one flowed nicely.
I wonder how much thought she puts into those, or does she have like some yips and yays that she just copy and paste? How does that work? How do you put those together? Are you sounding them out while you're doing it?
That's a good question. All good questions. Let us know.
Yeah.
And how's the podcast going too? Let us know. We know the legislative session is there's always something to talk about. Yeah, it's coming up. And of course we'll have our Senator Cipher on Monday. But today we got a special guest coming on through. Speaking of senators,
man,
we got former Senator Justin Wayne in the house. If you guys didn't see a little earlier, coming through. Stay tuned for a conversation with him, talking about what he got going on, some new things.
Yeah, man.
Been wanting to catch up with him, and then he put some posts out that I was really impressed by. So I was like, man, we got to get this brother back on the show for real.
Dropped the bomb. But we call him by many names: Senator Wayne, Coach Wayne, Weatherman Wayne.
Yeah, now Chief Wayne.
Name. Yeah, he got a new name. So yeah.
That's what's up. Michelle Moreno gives us a good morning. Hey, Mama God says good morning. Appreciate you. RG's up and at him with a morning, y'all. He said, there's the Friday yippee skippies. That's right. That's the skippy rolling.
Yeah, try it at home for your own waking up purposes.
There you go. Nice tongue twister to get you waking up early in the morning.
Get the brain going.
First one put out there. Let us know what you guys got going on this weekend. It's always on Friday. It's always a good thing to talk about if you guys got weekend activities happening.
Man.
That's kind of when people tend to relax, go out and do some things. And we'd love to know what's happening. Of course, today we've been talking about this all week. The summit.
It's going down.
Going down, man. Keynote speaker Nicole Hannah Jones of the 1619 Project and other things going down. So no tickets to be sold. I think this thing sold out. So if you're not already going, guess you missed out on this one.
Man.
Yeah. As did I, being out of town. So unfortunately I won't be able to go meet one of my favorite writers. But hey, knowing I Be Black Girl, she'll be back. So yeah, man, something's going down today for sure. There's a lot of other stuff happening this weekend. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and jump into a little bit of community updates.
Let's make it happen.
And we'll talk about a few things happening. Of course, we got Afro Fest coming up. Not this weekend, but next weekend, August 31st. Just mark on your calendar. I definitely think you ought to make sure you hit this.
Man.
Because this is going to be something very, very special indeed.
Premier events annually.
Premier, bro. It is one of those ones. It's like you got to go every year for real. Also, of course, Untamed Summer is happening. Shout out to Sherman Wells, who's putting this on over at Assembly of the Saints. Special guest Johnny No Good speaking this time around.
Man.
So this is coming up Sunday, and this is happening every Sunday from 4 to 7 for 20 weeks. I believe they're on their 12th week. So coming up on them, man, they got a lot under their belt. A lot of good times that they've been having over there at Assembly of the Saints with the Untamed Summer. I'm sure this is something the babies will really, really remember for a long time to come. So shout out to somebody doing something for the kids. That is the trick, isn't it?
Man, that's what it's about, ain't it?
That is what it's about. So much so, so much so. So yeah, appreciate everybody that's getting down. Also, an announcement we need to make too that I actually forgot to make the other day, but it's been in the news because they're still looking for her. But we need to be keeping our eyes out for Miss Ava Little Eagle. They've been doing a good job of putting this in front of everybody. This has been this missing poster and a few other missing posters have been out there for a while. They said she was last seen 12:18 a.m. on August 21st. So it's been a little minute now. She says she has on an orange shirt and blue shorts and pink tennis shoes. Her neighbor's camera shows her walking towards Vinton Street with a bag. Her family fears she may. Let me see if I can get this out of the way so I can read the rest of it. She may have been lured outside by an online predator. Wow. Wow.
Man.
So, yeah, please keep your eye open. Another Native American girl missing. Hair brown, eyes brown, pierced ears, 5'2", weighs about 150 pounds. Again, orange t-shirt, blue, I think pants. They said pink tennis shoes. Yeah. Please keep your eye open. We're always going to be posting these when they come up. So shout out to everybody that's doing something about it. And I'm sure you can find where to contact somebody. Contact the police really if you do see her. So yeah, definitely had to put that out there and just pass that around. We have it in Friends at Sky Omaha to remind everybody to be on the lookout. I'm always interested when I'm like out and about and seeing like little kids walking around.
Yeah,
just kind of like, where are they going? What are they doing by themselves like that? And everybody looks young to an old dude. So I don't know how young they are, but some of them look really young, and I'm just like, why are you? So you just always got to kind of keep your eye out, see what's going on.
The Village. Really quickly on that too. It said that she may have been lured by an online predator. And this is a conversation I actually just had with my children about their tablet use and playing games like Roblox, playing games that are, seem like they're designed for children, but there are chat rooms, there are chat features, there are ways for people to speak to your children. I saw on social media posts where a 32-year-old man popped up at somebody's house from Roblox. So again, I know we have parents in the chat, people, young folks at home. Just make sure you're talking to them about their tablet use, the games and apps that they're using, and who they may be speaking to online.
Please do. Marlon Harris in the chat giving us a good morning, First Sky family, and happy TGIF to everyone. Appreciate you. Blake Keister says, I'm up all night crafting it. I have some good guests coming on the pod soon. Shout out to Swing Left Nebraska pod, doing the good work as well. Also, Heather Williams gives us a good morning, everyone. Appreciate you. Ariel's 402 says, blessed morning from Ray, Colorado.
Okay. Got y'all in the boonies.
You tapping in, bro. For real. Carol Warner in the chat says, good morning, all. Good morning to you. Appreciate you.
Peace.
Ariel's 402 says, hot the like button. Hot it. Make it hot.
Make it hot.
Make that hot button. Linda Lathan in the chat giving us a good morning. Good morning to you as well. Appreciate you coming on in. Yeah, it's going to be a good day today. It is Friday. It's kind of our Love Supreme Friday. If you're just joining us, of course, we have former Senator Justin Wayne on, and he's going to be coming through talking about some of the things he's got going on and kind of this message that he's on right now that we're definitely on, just about finding your place, finding your space, your purpose, what we're doing for the kids. Be a good discussion. So hopefully you stick around and we can have a good talk with brother Wayne. Sean McCarthy in chat says, morning everyone, happy Friday, appreciate you. And again, let us know what you guys got going on this weekend for sure. We definitely would love to hear about it. A couple more things that are happening. I've been hearing about this adult skate night. A couple people have been hitting me up. I'm like, I don't know, man, I think my skating days is over, but I'll play video games while y'all go around and around. Skate on the ground at adult skate night. This is at the Hope Center. So I saw it once and I kind of passed it by, and I was just like, okay, that's cool. But a few people have hit me up like, yo, we should go to this. Let's get it going.
Man.
The cowboy hats and the fans out and the skates out and roll, I guess. Okay.
I can see you rolling and popping the fans.
Yeah, it sounds like. I mean, it sounds fun. It sounds fun. We'll see. We'll see how many people show up to that type of thing. An adult skate situation. We'll see.
Man,
So, yep. Marianne Williams says happy Friday, y'all. Appreciate that. Anthony Rogers Wright in the chat said happy Friday from the Big Easy. Katrina 20 right around the corner, man.
man, it's been 20 years.
You be cloud hopping, bro. 20 years. That's
Yeah, 2005, man.
wow.
Yeah.
Something going on with time. I don't understand it.
Time.
I do not understand it. Tomorrow, also, Black History Museum is having a March on Washington. I Have a Dream presentation, walking in the footsteps of legacy. Save the date. This is August 23rd. That's coming tomorrow over at the Black History Museum. So
Nice.
definitely check this out, man. And it's interesting. The title of this, March on Washington, while they're marching on Washington right now, the other way, the other side.
I like how you put that.
Yeah. We have an idea what March on Washington is all about. Martin Luther King, I Have a Dream, fighting for human rights. Yeah, occupying forces marching on Washington right now, the other direction.
Man, marching on human rights.
Marching on human rights. We'll get into it. We'll definitely talk a little bit more about it today. Also, RG says y'all got that man Weathermain in the dashiki. Hey, he got his own stuff in that dashiki. I'm trying to find one like it. Yeah, man. Yeah, he took some trips, bro. He went to the motherland. So I'm like, I want to hear anybody who went over there. I want to hear what's going on, especially now.
Touch the soil.
Especially Ghana. So much going on in Ghana. It's crazy.
Man.
So yeah, we got to talk about it for sure. But in the meantime, between time, let's jump into what today's thread is. I'm gonna pass it over to Buddy. What's on your mind, Buddy?
Yeah, man. I mean, 'tis the season. It's talking about spaces and places and all of its facets. And yeah, a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things to touch on. Of course, Anthony Rogers Wright, thank you for getting us started with that, because that's definitely something that I've been seeing you chiming up about, and I appreciate on social media. Something we want to address as well. You said something really going on with OPPD. Yeah, let's try to figure out what's really happening with the closure of that power plant and the continuing poisoning of North Omaha. Let's just call it what it is. Shout out to Chris Baby Boy Bolin talking about doing the reporting on the asthma situation in North Omaha. So yeah. And again, talking about spaces and places. We're trying to build a space and place where we can be healthy, flourish. The air quality plays a part in that. So we'll definitely be talking about that. Also, spaces and places, a lot of development going on around the north side. Trying to get to the bottom of it. Is it development? Is it gentrification? Let's just cut straight to the chase. What's really going on? We've been talking about all the development going on around North Omaha, but starting to see some things pop up within North Omaha. We'd definitely love to hear your thoughts on all of that, and especially if some of you has any more information on some of these developments. Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard. Let us know. Paul kind of mentioned it. We do have some updates on some conversations we've been having, touching on the DC situation, the homeless situation. Speaking of development and housing and things like that. We gotta continue talking about it, man. And to the extent of not just talking about it to be aware of what's going on around the nation, but the possibility of it coming to Nebraska. I mean, there's a lot of similarities, a lot of parallels in these situations that we will continue to unpack and talk about, especially how the youth are being viewed, how the youth are being talked about, and how the youth are being rolled up on and rounded up. So yeah, we're going to talk about that throughout the show. Of course, as we mentioned, we do have Weathermain Wayne, former Senator Wayne, who's doing some big things internationally, making some connections, building some bridges. So we'll definitely be talking about that. But also, again, one of the questions we've been wondering is, what is Wayne going to do next? As far as, is he going to run for any other offices? What does he have up his sleeve? And there are a few other people who have announced that they're running for some other offices. So again, the 6 to dismiss is still a line that we're pushing, still preparing for election season next year. So yeah, we got to fill these seats. It's not enough to just get these people, as you see on your screen, out of the paint, as my man RG would like to say. But who are going to get in the paint? Who are going to put the work? So we'll be talking about all that and more throughout the show. Again, let your mind be free, let your voice be heard. We're here for the next 2 hours, about 15 minutes into the first. Paul B.
Yo. Man, we teased him enough. We can take a quick break and come on back and jump into this conversation and talk about a lot of the things that you guys have been putting in Friends of First Sky Omaha, which we really appreciate.
Man.
And that's kind of today. It was one of those ones like there's a lot of chatter on this, a lot of chatter on that. We definitely got to get into it. So let's get into it. Let's take a quick break. We'll come right back. Stay tuned. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B. He's buddy to Gawd. Stay tuned.
Omaha, get ready to groove. The Love 'em Jazz Festival is back Saturday, August 30th at Turner Park in Midtown Crossing. Enjoy the sounds of jazz funk soul, Jeff Lorber, Paul Jackson Jr., Everett Harp, plus Julian Vaughn and 480 East. It all happens from 4 to 10 p.m. and it's free and open to the public. Bring your friends and your love for great music. The free Love 'em Jazz Festival, August 30th at Turner Park, starts at 4 p.m.
Man, a little jazz on the greens. Still, it's not jazz on the green, but it's coming back. It's some jazz on the green again. So,
there you go. Man, that commercial's cold, man. That bass, the boom, 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 boom.
Oh, you like that, huh?
Yeah, that's cold right there.
He was rocking that.
Oh,
jazz funk right there. That's what's up, man.
Might have to flip that.
Yeah, for real. Shout out to the Love 'em Fest, man. They bring the heavy hitters like every year. So even though Jazz on the Green is actually not is over, you can still bring your blanket out to Turner Park and get down with some real jazz out there. So I'm really about it. I'm really glad that they put this out and they know what it is too. I always feel like the Love 'em family there know what good jazz is, like know who's hot right now and know who you know what I'm saying? Like they make really good decisions on who they're bringing out, and it's always a good time. So shout out to them. And shout out to all of you that have been partying still. This summer is not over. There's still a lot going on this summer. Shout out to baby man Chickadebia, who's just out here doing some things at Tiny House, which is also in the fam. Shout out to Tiny House. And it looked like they had a good time over there last night as well. So if you went to Chickadevia's event, love to hear about it. And Chica is somebody who was a pretty prolific artist out here in Omaha, and I think he moved to New York, didn't he?
Yeah. Been out in NY doing some things, man. So yeah, we talk about the internet or national connection of people leaving Omaha to do other things. You gotta stay connected, man. Shout out to my man Chica, holding it down
In a big way. So appreciate everybody who went out and supported those things. Of course, you saw the Love 'em Jazz Festival coming up. Support that as well. Lots of things to support as far as actually some good things going on for us to do that. I think we've been doing a pretty good job this summer as well. The Native Omaha Days, I'm still really reeling off of that time frame, man. Seeing how much good happened during Native Omaha Days and all the people out there and all the things there was to do, and the jam session at the end of Sunday. Still high from that, man. Still high from it. I was going through some footage and found that I did actually capture a lot of that. I'm gonna start putting some of that out too. Yeah, man, because some of the moments that I've been telling people about that happened on Sunday night. I should capture some of that, right?
Yeah.
So shout out, look out for that. I'll put them on YouTube on our YouTube channel. So like and subscribe when you get over there. Also, we got some a project called Lanes of Change that we're working on right now. We're about to start releasing some videos there as well. Highly suggest that you go over to YouTube and make sure you like and subscribe over there when you do, and look out for some of the new stuff that's coming. In the meantime, between time, we go ahead and fire up this conversation. Again, don't forget, we have brother Justin Wayne coming through a little later on in the show. Please stick around so we can have a good conversation with him and get your questions ready about some things going on too. When you said who's running, who's getting in the seats, I forgot he was running for something. So caught up in his post about about the Love Supreme stuff. I forgot that he had already announced he was running for some stuff. So we'll definitely be talking to him in a big way. And with that, I'll go ahead and throw it over to you, buddy. What's first on the agenda?
Yeah. Picking it right up at the Lanes of Change, as you mentioned, that is our overarching theme of this season, which is Space is the Place. And the idea is, again, helping all of us, identify different lanes, different areas, different spaces and places where we can find value, where we can, have impact, where we can get busy. Let's just call it what it is, because, as you see, look outside. It's time to get active, and in many areas, the environment being one of them. So big shout out to brother Anthony Rogers Wright for pushing this line and bringing this to our attention. And he's right. He says we're paying OPPD too much money to poison us. Something really going on with OPPD. He says just have the just have the ED a $45,000 raise, bringing his salary to $899,000 a year. Public power, my black rear end. This is keep it there. But yeah, that's the report. Shout out to Channel 3. Melissa Wright always doing the good work, letting people know what's good in the hood. And OPPD is definitely a issue that we continually talk about and keep on our radar. Of course, leaders like Brother Preston Love Jr., Sister Cheryl Weston, Senator Terrell McKinney have been very vocal on this situation. And again, if you don't know the situation, OPPD originally pledged to shut down the coal plant in North Omaha by 2023. As we know, that plant is still open, and here we are 2 years later. The deadline was pushed back 3 years. Now, Bold, Nebraska, which is a clean energy advocacy group, has launched a petition calling on the utility to keep to its 2026 timeline, which there are murmurs and conversation that that 2026 lines actually might not get honored because of the introduction and implementation of data centers and the need for power. However, State Senator Terrell McKinney, who, according to the article, also serves on the board of Bold, Nebraska, said residents feel the delays have gone on too long. He says they're saying it is way overdue because of the delays, and people are fed up with having the coal plant in the community. Also, Brother Preston Love expressed concern about the situation, saying, I would only say we need to keep the politics out of people's business. Despite the skepticism, again, leaders like Love say they still want to maintain open communication with OPPD while pressing for accountability. I know we have several chat chimers, namely Sister Kimra Snipes, who's also been in frequent conversation with the leadership at OPPD. A few chat chimers have suggested we call Brother Williams on, who's one of the board members for OPPD. I think he represents the North Omaha area. If you remember, he would come up to the Malcolm X, during the Minus Soul days to talk about that path, that bike path that they was trying to have cut through, and that whole situation. But here we are again, months away from 2026 and no closer to the plant closing. And again, the real impact of asthma and the air pollution, that's the real conversation in the community, has to be had. Paul, what say you?
Yeah, I mean, you said it. Well, we can't really, there's nothing really else to say. Anthony Rogers Wright is saying we can't help the politics out. We can't keep the politics out of it. OPPD is run by the Democrats, and Mr. Love knows it. Okay. He says Eric Williams has been lying and patronizing black people for years. Okay. I have heard about, so some of the things that I've been hearing about the plant is that it's made up of several different sections, and a couple sections have been closed down. And I think they were trying to say they were, they were saying that to say we were doing something, but as many times as we reported on this about them kicking the can down the road and saying we're going to do it and then not do it, say we're going to do it by this time, then don't do it. And it keeps on going. And now we know we have all these data centers coming, and it doesn't feel like they would ever do it. We can't, there's got to be something, something has to be done here in order to make some kind of changes. So I'm anxious to see when Terrell McKinney comes on, Senator McKinney, put some respect on his name, when he comes on for Senator Cypher on Monday. I definitely want to talk to him about this more and dig in because he can give us some inside information on the conversations that are being had there as well. And maybe we need to try to get Brother Williams back on, Eric Williams on again as well, and get some answers, to some questions. Although I tend to fall back on that, man. We've had a whole bunch of conversations about it. Like Archie said, time for some action.
Man, yeah, it's kind of where my mind is.
I don't know what we're doing, but it seemed like it got to be more than having another conversation where they tell us down the road. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we gotta apply some pressure. I mean, that's just the reality of it. And we can get into the minutia of nuclear energy and I think the reality is this is the continuation of the legacy of redlining, and it has to be stopped, point blank, period.
Mm-hmm.
That's really all it is. So again, we in our position, in our lane, in our role as strategic communicators, we'll continue to push the line. We'll continue to raise awareness. We'll continue to communicate as things progress. But yeah, might have to get a little more active beyond just the conversation. Again, big shout out to those who are, getting into the meeting rooms, going directly to the issue, trying to solve the problem. Let's continue to, communicate, organize, and push the line.
This is something else that I was thinking too. Marianne Williams is saying it. She said OPPD is owned by its customers. That's the other part of this thing with OPPD. It's important to keep working with them as BlackRock is buying electric companies now. Not saying don't criticize though. So that to me some change that the change that needs to happen is it's sitting in that realm somewhere where OPPD is owned by the customers. It's a different kind of situation they got there. What can we do there is kind of the question there. Also Anthony Rogers Wright says, why are we giving a white dude who doesn't even drink coffee in Northo, much less serve the community? Don't forget he voted to raise his salary a week after getting reelected. Okay. Also, he says, work with what? Miss Marianne. He says that these people understanding only one thing, independent power, pun intended. I feel you. Work with, there's still something there. I feel like there's still something there. And it's because of the fact that the business structure is what it is. Anthony Rogers Rice says OPPD is owned by big tech companies like Google and Meta.
Yeah,
I need the data on that. Say again.
That was kind of my thoughts too. That was actually the next comment I was going to make as far as the connection between the power situation and development, especially development of the data centers, especially in North Omaha, as we have this business park coming. We have data centers popping up on 72nd, by Cunningham Lake. There's a push for jobs in North Omaha. Is that, kind of the double-edged sword? Like, we know poverty is a determinant of crime, and there's this whole stop the crime situation. There's conversations of getting jobs in North Omaha, but are these the type of jobs that will poison us ultimately? So yeah, there's definitely conversations that are brewing, still being had, and we have to stay on top of these conversations.
Most deaf. I appreciate that very much. 7:27.
Yeah.
You believe in the concept of time? I'm looking at my clock, says 5:27. By the way, it's 90 degrees in Las Vegas right now. 90 degrees, like 4:00 in the morning. It was like 90 degrees. So, yeah.
Without the sun out.
Without the sun out, 4 in the morning. So speaking of power,
man,
I'm sure glad this air conditioner is working right now for real. Anyway, yeah, we'll continue the conversation there. I appreciate everybody's comments on that. 7:27. If you believe in the concept of time. If you're just joining us, we are First Sky Omaha in the morning. My name is Paul Beee. He's buddy to Gawd. Almost stepped on his line.
Yeah.
And stick around because we have a special guest that'll be coming in here a little bit later. Can't wait for you to have some discussion with him about what it is that he's got going on. Brother Justin Wayne, former Senator Justin Wayne, is coming through. Can't wait to speak to him. RG already blew. I was really trying to talk about this before RG chimed up about it, because I knew he was like, whoever running against Don Klein, we need to talk about. But yeah, this has already been in the chatter. But we'll talk about it coming up, man. Danner for Douglas County,
man.
Douglas County attorney, man. Like RG always says, get Don Klein out of the paint. And I've been saying, well, who we gonna put in the paint? So I appreciate everybody that dropped this and put comments in. Friends of First Sky Omaha. It sounds like there's a lot of excitement around all these things.
Yeah.
And we got some other people running too. For Douglas County Treasurer, Tony Vargas is back in the game.
Yep.
And he just announced that he's running as well. So we got some people running. We'll talk about it, how we feel about what's going on there, because I've been putting the question out to y'all. If y'all want to get people out of the paint, who you want to put in it? Anybody give some suggestions on who could fill some of these seats from the dismissed to the 6 to dismiss list? So we have to continue to talk about that. But let's take a quick break and we'll come on through and jump back into the discussion. Again, you're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul Beee. He's buddy to Gawd. And all of you, really appreciate you guys joining us this morning. We'll be right back. Y'all stay tuned. Welcome back. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning. What's up?
In the morning. That flyer, man. That flyer is hilarious. That won't back down.
Is this what you about, Mama God?
Mama God was talking about this, but you see that tagline, F around and flip the house?
They love to jump on some slang, don't they?
Man, love to use some black culture.
Black folks can't have nothing for too long. Even Elizabeth Warren talking about F around and flip the house. Okay. So yeah, let us know more about this. I've been seeing this float around a lot too. So let us know what's happening here. Representative Maxwell Frost and Senator Elizabeth Warren is on the Won't Back Down tour. Going down, I suppose, Saturday, August 23rd. Mama God, you going to this? Letting us know about it. So just want to put it out there and see what's going on and all that good stuff. I'd love to talk about it. Yeah, that tagline is pretty funny.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Yeah, appreciate you guys joining in. Mama God in the chat says, look at problems in Memphis with AI data center expansion. I haven't heard about what's going on in Memphis.
Yeah, people's power bills going up left and right. So yeah, it's I mean, you had mentioned about the data as far as getting into the, the receipts of the whole connection between the power plants and the data centers and what's really going on. I think there's some validity to the concerns, and we should continue talking about it, looking into it, and staying on top of it, and really talking about flipping the house and all the people running for seats. That is something I thought about as far as the OPPD situation before we pivot to the next topic. But remembering, I'm thinking about Brother Eric Williams, and when I saw him in the community and remembering that the seat that he ran for, if I'm not mistaken, he had to get votes for it. So we're talking about flipping the seat. Maybe there's more paints to get people about of to get some other people in that's really gonna do the thing. You know what I mean?
Unless what Anthony Rogers Wright is saying, OPBD is owned by big tech companies like Google and Meta.
Well, I'm sure they're in the pocket.
Yeah, I mean, if they're not owning them outright, because this, LPPD is this kind of company that's owned by the people. But yeah, they got to be in the pocket hard.
Man.
And I think that when I'm thinking about the power, we need the power. That's all there is to it. We need the power for expansion, to gentrify and upgrade our own communities, as well as anything that's coming. Like you said, double-edged sword. The data centers are here. Is it gonna create some jobs? I mean, I don't think it's gonna create a lot of jobs, but it'll create some.
Yeah,
we need the power, but we also need this form of power to go away in a big way, because it ain't been doing nothing but polluting North Omaha and South Omaha. I've been talking to people in South Omaha. He's like, hey, you don't. The smoke doesn't, you know what I'm saying? The smoke doesn't stop at Cumming Street. It goes right on over. So yeah, and they know it's messed up. That's why they keep promising they're going to shut it down and go to another farm. But there's also some talk there going to natural gas. Is it how much better is that environmentally? So yeah, a lot of questions to ask here for sure. And we appreciate everybody that's jumping in there. Also, when we talked about Tony Vargas, Anthony Rogers Rice says that we will need to make sure Vargas doesn't send all of our money to Israel.
Man, hey, if there is an Israel by the time you get in there.
Curtis Judy in the chat, good morning, says I'll be there. You're talking about the We Won't Back Down situation?
Okay.
Let's see that. Mama God says she can get a ride. It's in Papillion, too far for me to drive. Okay. Oh, they having that in Papillion. Okay. They go Papillion gonna be like, what is F around and flip the house? Anthony Rogers Rice says Representative Frost is the G. So Senator Warren was in Iowa speaking about reparations for Black people. It was a pleasure to do work for her. Shout out, man. Anthony Rogers Wright working with the big wigs. That's what's up. So, yes, he was voted in, talking about the OPPD voting in, and is on a pathway to a recall. Wow. All right, we'll be learning more about it. There's something here for sure. Kimber's in the chat. Good morning, y'all. Appreciate you coming on in. And Mama God says energy consumption more than planned. What is it? Something else to that? So residents sharing costs along with some pollution issues. Yeah, you got to think about that too. For real. Anthony Rogers Wright says 899,000 is not a public power salary; it's a Fortune 500 CEO's salary. Okay, some some path to recall for real if
Yeah.
that's what's going on.
Well,
Go ahead.
just to put it in context, you got Senators Wayne or you got Senators McKinney and Spivey making what 12,000 a year to do the work of a senator versus almost $1 million for public power.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, especially when rates go up and pollution is what we're sharing, like Mama God is saying, is on top of everything. And when they go in and make some kind of progress, I'll never forget when Anthony Rogers Wright brought out uh presidential candidate Dr. Cornel West, and
Man.
he's standing out in the field like these things got to go. Like it's national attention on how many times OPPD has told us that they're going to shut down the coal plant, nationally known. And we keep on saying about is they keep kicking it down the road, kicking the can down the road.
Yeah. Sister Kimmer in the chat going off, and she's one of the chat chimers that have been directly hands-on with this situation. So definitely love your input from conversations that you've had, or at least give us an update as far as where those conversations are. Are they kind of at a stalemate? Is there movement? Let us know.
Yeah, she's actually saying most jobs data centers create are with the construction, and that's temporary. Just I was working with Turning Construction when they were building the first Facebook data centers. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of people who run that are. That's what I was thinking about the job
Yeah.
situation. Not a lot of jobs inside data centers.
No, they're just big supercomputer rooms. That's it. It's rooms full of computers. So there's not much work for humans to do because it's data computing. That's what it is.
Takes up wide swaths of land and a lot of energy and resources. As a matter of fact, I just read something about a town that just quietly voted out or fought that and kept the data center from being in their community. I'm blanking on what community it was. I have to go back and look at that article.
Mhm.
But this is not just here; it's been happening all around the country where people are fighting this and not wanting it in their community. And some people have been successful in keeping it out. I don't think there's anybody really fighting for that here. I think everybody kind of sees it as, well, why not? This may bring some jobs. We want big tech here. We have things like the Port Authority and other things that are going to be built in order to house some of these things. We want big companies to come to it in order to bring jobs to Omaha and so on. So, we were way far away from any kind of organizing about anything. Have we even made the decision that this is something that we need to be fighting? We're putting all our energy right now into thinking about how OPPD needs to be acting about it because we got a big coal plant in North Omaha poisoning us all the time. But what's the alternative? What's the plan? Yeah, we'll have to come back and keep on asking about these questions.
Yeah. Anthony Roger Wright says Tucson, Arizona, apparently is that community he's in.
Tucson, really? Okay. A family in Tucson. Shut it down. So yeah, very, very interesting for sure. Kimmer says shouts out to Turner Construction. They were trying hard to get black folks jobs with that project. Appreciate that. One more, Anthony Rogers Wright says this is new coalition that was just formed in Nebraska. The Data Centers Threaten the Good Life Coalition.
Okay.
So somebody is getting together with it. Okay. Well, we will see. We will see. What say you? We always want to hear what you, the chat chimers, ghost listeners, and everybody has to say about all those things. We would love to know. Please let us know what's going on in your minds about that. Should we be fighting these data centers? Anthony Rogers Wright always talk about AI going to be the death of us.
Man, what are your thoughts?
How many resources are being pulled,
Right. And how many jobs are being lost because of this AI stuff? It's all we're all talking about it now, and we'll continue to talk about it. But yeah, thank you for those who have solutions to this. That's what I was going to mention. If you know about communities that's getting busy, solutions journalism. That's the line that we're trying to push, and actually moving along to pivot to the next story. What you thinking, Paul?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Speaking of communities that are, have solutions that are trying to thwart some things and address some issues, Tulsa is going down in Tulsa. This is in the news. We've been talking about housing, which is really connected to the whole, power plant data center situation. Like if more people own land, might be a little harder for these mega companies to come in and do what they want to these communities. So Again, big shout out to the Tulsa City Council, who has approved a huge budget amendment to the tune of $6 million in what they call the Safe Move Tulsa Rehousing Plan. Again, it's a $6 million initiative aimed at rehousing 300 individuals over the next 9 months. The effort is part of the city's broader goal to achieve functional zero homelessness by 2030. The plan will be funded by nearly $4.4 million from the Walmart Opioid Settlement Subfund and Pandemic Relief Recovery Fund, which is supplemented by additional ARPA dollars. The initiative will provide individualized support services for up to 1 year, including healthcare, mental health assistance, addiction services, financial literacy, and rental assistance. Again, according to Mayor Nichols, who has actually been in conversation with Willie Barney, so there's definitely the Omaha Tulsa connection going on. He says more than 1,400 Tulsans are experiencing homelessness right now, and many of them simply need a hand up, which is actually the very vernacular that we've heard from our mayor, John Ewing, in our recent conversation about giving people a hand up rather than a hand out, which is very interesting. So, again, talking about solutions, talking about communities, doing things. What do you think about the possibility? $6 million for homelessness. Again, is that an idea, Paul? What say you?
Yeah, I was struck by this article because again, we're always looking for in different places for solutions about what we can do here. We've been talking about what's going on, this war on homelessness in DC. Shout out to Tamara Dwyer, who's the homelessness person that's in charge of all these things in Nebraska. She's the one that actually posted that article that caught my attention. But I thought that was interesting that they're actually raising funds to help people directly with homelessness, and it's such a departure from what it is that we've been hearing about in DC and even here. This kind of war on what's going on here. I'm looking at this picture of in DC where a garbage truck is driving up to a camp to get ready to throw all their stuff away, and they got all the cameras out on the side there. You can see all the news channels out there ready to capture all this. This is what's going on. I heard Trump in the news this morning talking about DC is a different place now. And you can walk around it now. So there was such a homeless problem, such a crime problem, and he had claimed that he was going to go roll around with the troops.
I saw that.
And he didn't. He said he ended up giving the troops pizzas and burgers and decided not to roll. So
of course,
hot mess, man. You got a hot take on this? As a matter of fact, I suggest y'all call everybody up and be like, get on the show right now because Buddy got a hot take on
really?
Yeah, dude, it's a hot take, bro. It's a hot take about DC, the DC situation, and why they're attacking it.
It is. I mean, it's definitely something that kind of dawned on me yesterday as I was just thinking about it, and I guess kind of getting into the spirit of today's conversation, the meat and potatoes of it. I was watching a podcast. Shout out to my man Deontay Kyle and the Grits and Eggs podcast. If you don't know about the Grits and Eggs podcast, do yourself a favor, check it out.
Punch yourself in your face if you ain't seen this yet.
Man, especially the latest episode. Again, Deontay Kyle he's one of us. He's one of us. He's doing the same thing that we're doing, but reaching the nation, and I love it. And the latest episode talks about what's going on in DC, and usually on the podcast, he gives his viewpoints and his philosophy on life, which is usually very insightful, very well studied. But he did something different. He called the people on the ground in DC, the likes of Sister Afeni, who, if you haven't seen, is a young lady who was arrested during the protests in DC. She was released the next day. She was pepper sprayed by the DC police for simply recording them as they rounded up and brutalized young people. And a lot of them echoed, especially her, the sentiment that it's not just what we're seeing in DC. And what we're seeing isn't the full thing of what's going on. She very, very much so compared this, and not even compared it, called it a fascist uprising. And I had to think about it. If this were like, we're watching this in real time and trying to figure out what it is. And if I were trying to take over a country, if this were a coup, why not attack the capital of the nation first? Just think about it. I mean, they already stormed the Capitol, and now they're storming the entire city.
In a city we hadn't heard any whole lot of activity happening there. We hadn't heard about any surge in crime or anything that's going on. It's been a mystery of why they decided to do this. That's the crazy part. Crime is way down.
30-year low.
What is he talking about? Is happening there that is something happening there he don't like. Protests, something. But that's happening all over the place. They're trying to crack down on California. California's been in the news more than anybody as far as the battle is concerned.
Man, but it's not just, who's coming through the forces, but who they're rounding up. And it's not just homeless people. According to boots on the ground, again, individuals who are there, and again, watch the episode. It's a very powerful. It's a watch, about 2.5 hours, but worth every second, because he's speaking to people in various facets, people who are on the ground organizing. Shout out to Brother Anthony Rogers Wright, who's apparently familiar with the sister I'm talking about. He says, we love that sister. She's one of our best field operatives at M4BL.
Should have seen the celebration they had when they released her.
Man, it was quite a celebration. It was quite a celebration. But, I just really got the feeling like, man, is this really happening? Is this what it looks like in real time?
Anthony Rogers Rice says LA was a dress rehearsal. DC's the trial run. And cities with black mayors are next.
Which brings me to the point about Omaha and the similarities, as I mentioned at the top of the show, between what's going on in Omaha and DC, and the conversation around the youth, because that's the heart of it. As I mentioned, it's not just homeless people being rounded up. Apparently, most of the people getting rounded up in these sweeps are young black people. One of the callers, on the episode, mentioned that DC does not have a busing system. They don't have a public busing system.
What?
Instead, the school children, they get bus cards and transit cards, and they ride the public transit system. That's how they get to and from school.
Wow.
But yeah. So, but again, this people, imagine you're leaving basketball practice at 10 o'clock at night. You're leaving football practice at 10 o'clock at night. Maybe you got a job after school and there's a curfew. So now people who are leaving practice, leaving work, maybe just going to visit a family member, are being treated like they're criminals. And again, this is the same rhetoric that we're hearing used in Nebraska. Did we forget that they're trying to lock up 9-year-olds?
They passed that. They can detain 9-year-olds and charge 12-year-olds as adults. That's the law now.
Again, I've been talking about it on the show. What is there for young people to do? Where is it for them to go?
Where do families get support? Can families get some support for their young people? Marianne Williams says most of the red states sending their National Guard have cities with higher crime rates than DC. We talked about that Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I had to look it up myself. The top 10 most violent states. Number 10 on that list. The first entry was South Carolina. One of the very states sending troops to DC.
Yeah, it's a show. It's a show. Just like we talked about on the show the other day, Pillin, who, when we talked about this whole Cornhusker clink that is coming to Nebraska, and then saw a quote from him about it. He said, "We want to show Donald Trump that we're supporting ICE, that we're supporting this mission." So there's a lot of signaling going on right now. There's a lot of showing him that, sending troops. All this stuff is this, making sure that they are telling him who's aligned, and we get to see it too in real time too. We get to see that, and I agree. I think that cities with black mayors that have Republican governors, which most cities that have black mayors have Republican governors, have to deal with it. I'm almost wondering about that when it comes to Ewing. When it comes to Mayor Ewing, put some respect on his name. I think about that all the time because. You win seats like that because you're able to work across aisles and you're able to, people. There was a lot of Republicans that voted for him too. He comes from law enforcement background. All of us that are skeptical about law enforcement are skeptical about that part of his mayoral time. So far, I feel like he's got some really great ideas, some good things going on. I feel positive about what can happen, but I also have to be skeptical with how much he'll be able to do. I mean, we all went through Obama,
Mm-hmm.
where we felt like there were some things in the beginning he was trying to do, but he was getting shut down from everybody around him. How much shutdown is going to happen with whatever Mayor Ewing is going to try to do in this state that is obviously leaning way the other way?
Well, one issue or hurdle, to your point, that I see coming down the pipe is this whole ICE detention situation. I look back at the article. It's not just McCook. It's also county jails that will be used to detain ICE detainees.
They already were. So this big announcement that they are doing this is, they already were going to do that. We've been talking about ICE raiding, spots over on South Omaha. There's already lawsuits with people who got hemmed up by ICE. ICE has been on the move for a minute. Where they've been putting these people, they already been putting these people in jail. So why this big announcement that they're going to be putting these people in jail? It's just what Pillin just said it outright. We want Donald Trump to know that we're supporting this whole effort.
Right. So my point is, I wonder what pressure Ewing would be on if he stands on the line that he already drew as far as not supporting Trump and not, supporting the idea of using facilities like Douglas County jail to house ICE detainees.
Which
And
you said,
if he
said that.
Yeah, Ewing did say that. Ewing said, I'm not really with the idea of using the city of Omaha facilities and Douglas County facilities for ICE detention. But if you got a black mayor in a Republican state pushing against Trump operatives, what does that mean?
How much are you going to be able to get done?
And how much time do we got before he sends the troops to Omaha?
He already sent troops for border control already in California. Well, we reported on that last year. So he's all down for that whole, he's down for exactly what Trump is down for when it comes to deploying. If we get in the streets, it'll be national. Trump won't have to deploy National Guard. Pillin will. National Guard will be right here. I'm going to jump in the chat real quick while we got a chance. Mama Guy says he has more control of DC, even though it has sovereign abilities. I think he wouldn't. Yeah, it's another reason for the war on it. Marianne Williams says most of the red states sending their National Guard. Oh, we already talked about that. Yeah, appreciate that comment. Michelle Williams gives us a good morning. Good morning. Mama Guy said Governor Cory Booker of Maryland is speaking out. He will probably be bulldozed by this administration.
He actually invited Trump for a public safety walk. Just saw that. The mayor of Baltimore.
Oh, Mayor of Baltimore.
Yeah, the mayor of Baltimore called on Trump, saying, come, you want to talk about the crime, you want to see how the crime really is, come to Baltimore and walk with city officials, walk with the mayor, actually see it.
I can't help but think of The Wire every time I think about Baltimore.
Oh man,
yeah, you can come to Baltimore if you want to. We got to check in with Michelle Troxler on that. She's in that area.
Yes.
Linda Lathan says, I heard he's getting protection for his hog farms. I've been hearing some things about that too, for sure. We know that he complained a little bit about the fact that he couldn't use, that he was missing some workers when all that stuff went down. So Anthony Roger Rice says Mayor Ewing is in a fix. City council members Harding and Melton told him to take out DEI references in the city budget. This will be his first real test. So you know what I'm saying? I'm nervous, bro. I'm nervous. And like I said, I'm positive on him. Everybody knows I don't like the institution of police at all. But I got respect for Mayor Ewing. I got respect for Tommy Warren. I got respect for the brothers that were there because of something that Brother Kasim said, which we'll have brother Kasim on here in a couple weeks. He's gonna come on Friday after next, by the way, talk about what's going on with the Survival Club. Brother Kasim always is pushing when people ask him his advice, saying, should we join the police force? Brother Kasim is like, yeah, we need more people on the police force pushing from the inside as well. And that's different from anything that I used to think, because I used to think, No, I'm coming from California, where every black cop that I know act like the worse than the white dudes.
Yeah.
So there's obviously a blue line. There's obviously a culture in there that doesn't allow you to apply any force from the inside. But I could be wrong about that. If Brother Kasim feels like that's a move, because I can see if Brother Kasim joined, he would never join the police force, I don't think. But if he did, I could see him being a force inside that would be trying to push for some change happening while he was there, not allowing certain things to happen. He's going to get a lot of pushback, and anybody would. But there have been people on the inside doing some things. Now we have heard Mayor Ewing align with the police on some things, the decisions about shootings and some things like that felt real questionable.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really like some of those answers, but he's going to look at it from a law enforcement perspective every time, whether or not that officer broke any laws. I would like to talk more about the ethics of police shootings and all that, but it is what it is. Kimmer says Obama should have done like Trump and just did whatever the hell he wanted to. You can't. You think Trump is doing what he wants to, but he's doing what he wants to because he gets all this backing. I just read 3 articles in the last 2 days about the Supreme Court that is allowing things that he's doing. The country has voted this man in.
Yeah, and Trump didn't pass the big beautiful bill by himself.
Anthony Rogers Rice says, Paul, Obama had a trifecta government for his first 2 years. He blew it by bailing out corporations and failing to do immigration reform as he promised. Now, he didn't have he had a lot of lack of support in the beginning. I remember this distinctly because this is when I was first paying any attention to any of this stuff. In the beginning, he had a lot of pushback for a lot of stuff he was trying to do. He could have done more, tried some different strategies. I agree. I think he blew a few things for sure. But I noticed a whole bunch of pushback on some of the things that he was in because that's what it was. He says, but Obama did manage to murder 1 million Arabs and destabilize African nations like Libya. Did some messed up stuff for sure. And the stuff that I'm thinking about that he tried to do that he was getting pushback on wasn't hugely significant things in the first place. But the point was, what do you do when we can just talk about it in the Democratic Republican situation. Like, what do you do as a Democrat when you are surrounded by Republicans that, if you just want to go that route, let alone, what I'm looking beyond Republican and Democratic when I'm thinking just about white supremacy and what they're trying to bring here. What do you do? Anthony Rogers Rice says Cory Booker isn't the governor of Maryland. Wes Moore is. Okay, I'm not sure where. Yeah, Cory Booker that's another conversation because there's a lot going on there too. RG was Clay Davis. Hey man, The Wire. Anyway, yeah, I'm not going to continue with that. More pork on my fork. Kimmer Snipe says, I've got a friend in Baltimore who calls me every day. He works for the state of Virginia government. Crazy. I appreciate the chat going off here. You guys are talking a lot about what's going on here, and I appreciate the conversation. I'm not going to be able to get to everyone. I see Deshaun Cunningham in the chat. Good morning.
Hey,
control the House, Congress, SCOTUS when he was first elected. I do remember a lot of pushback, man. That's what I'm thinking that Mayor Ewing's going to get for real.
Yeah. Really quickly, though, I do want to acknowledge a comment from Anthony Rogers Wright as far as what you're talking about is the diversity of police. He says that's the play for Harding and Belton. They won't allow for more diverse police because they said Omaha will lose federal grants mostly for law enforcement. And, drawing the comparison to what's going on in D.C., that is another thing that I learned. Having a black police force isn't always the saving grace because what's happening in D.C., apparently they had an 80% black police force.
Blue line, man. I ain't never black and white meant nothing to me when it came to police. It's the culture of police.
The culture itself, which why we need a change in leadership. Why we need to continue to push that line and get people in the lanes of change to end up changing some of this. Big time.
We're coming up on 8:00 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we're stepping into the second hour of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
And
we're anticipating special guests. Brother Justin Wayne is going to come through today. Have a little discussion about some Love Supreme stuff. It is Friday, and we do like to talk about things a little bit deeper than what's going on in politics, especially, and other things. And just kind of remember why we even care in the first place about it, what we're trying to do about any of those things. So we're staying tuned for that. Please stay tuned with us on that. We'd love to hear a little bit more from Justin Wayne about what he's doing, because he is running for an office as well. It is going to be a season to get some people out of the paint by next year,
Man,
and it's a good time to start thinking about people that are coming up in it. So we'll talk about it and we'll continue the conversation. We'll take a quick break right now, and we'll come back soon. Please stay tuned and stick around. We're going to keep on moving on these discussions. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
in the morning.
My name is Paul B.
Hey.
He's buddy to God.
Yes.
Omaha, get ready to groove. The Love 'em Jazz Festival is back Saturday, August 30th at Turner Park in Midtown Crossing. Enjoy the sounds of jazz funk soul, Jeff Lorber, Paul Jackson Jr., Everett Harp, plus Julian Vaughn and 480 East. It all happens from 4 to 10 p.m. and it's free and open to the public. Bring your friends and your love for great music. The free Love 'em Jazz Festival, August 30th at Turner Park, starts at 4 p.m.
Man, shout out to Love 'em for sending that message through us about some real jazz coming to Omaha. Some heads, man. That's some serious heads they got lined up for that. So get ready for that on the 30th. And then we can't talk about the 30th unless we talk about what else is going on the 30th.
Yeah.
The Unity Festival, man, happened later on the night. The legend, CeeLo Green, is going to be in Omaha. So, again, we got legends in jazz, legends in hip hop, legends in Omaha, downtown area, midtown area, all day and all night. It's going to be a beautiful thing. So, shout out to that. I'm planning on hitting some of this jazz funk soul, man, on Saturday a little bit earlier in the day, 4 p.m. And then later on that night, kind of sliding over to Gene Leahy Mall and checking out CeeLo, one of my favorite artists. So yeah, lots coming up. And don't forget also, man, Spike Lee's gonna be in town too.
Yeah.
Definitely check out what's going on with film streams. The tickets are about to go on sale for this feature 9 that's happening at Holland Performing Arts Center. Check out film streams and get all the information, because this is going to be heavily important as well. Spike going to be running around town in Omaha here coming up pretty soon in November.
Man.
Definitely looking forward to that on the real. We got a special guest waiting in the wings. We're going to go ahead and bring him in. Man, I can't wait to talk to this brother. It's been a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, Justin Wayne is in the chat. What up, man?
What's going on? How y'all doing today?
Good, bro. Long time no see. How you been?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Feeling good. Living life.
Yeah.
You doing some cloud hopping, getting some honors.
You looking a lot less stressed right now, bro. I'm looking at your face like, man.
Oh, bro, I'm way less stressed. I ain't been on here in so long. I'm trying to figure out my lighting. I just be
turn that one back on. You had to turn that back on. Yeah. Check you out, man. Look.
Hey, I'm just
gotta lay it out. Yeah, man.
What's good?
Man, appreciate you, bro. Nothing, man. I've been thinking about having you back on since you not in the Senator Cipher anymore. I was like, man, we got to catch up with him. And then we heard in the news you was running for something, and we was like, okay, we got to talk about that. But what's really going on, what struck me about what was going on was your post that you made a little while ago about your trip to Ghana. And that was what I was like, okay, we got to hear about this, because you speaking our language now about just how to find your purpose and what we need to do for the kids, and your whole message, man, and your whole message struck me, bro. So please, first of all, tell us about your trip. In your words, man, how you feel?
I still haven't talked about going through the slave trades, the castles. And I haven't, to be quite honest, I still haven't processed it yet. And so that part, I told myself I gotta process that by my birthday, which is next week. But I was just like, I still haven't processed that yet. So that one is that one. I think I'll just say this: every American, in fact, everybody across the world, but every American, but particularly black people in America, should go there and walk through these castles that were used to transport slaves and be the trading posts for slavery. I can't do justice to it right here talking about it. You got to actually go through it. And when they shut the doors and you sitting in there in complete dark, and you can't imagine 150 people sitting next to you or standing next to you in chains, and nowhere to go, and no bathrooms, I mean, just the thought and going back through there, and the smell, you can still, like, it's just yeah, it's too deep. There's no other way to explain it.
And maybe them not even knowing what was going to happen to them next, where they were going, nothing.
And a lot of people aren't necessarily from Ghana, but how I look at it is that's the last place that we saw freedom, last place that our ancestors, could walk among themselves and not necessarily worried about being a slave. And so just that. And then overall, I went there for a business trip. It was for, working with the university, and actually Senator McKinney went there a couple years ago for the same purpose, and we're trying to help them with their agriculture industry and how to grow stuff. And it was life-changing for me. Like, I mean, when I climbed the mountain over in Africa, that was life-changing. And this is just a different way of I think, finding yourself and going over there and visiting people and talking to the tribes and meeting people and just the overall history. But I think there are a lot of people who go to DC and walk through the Holocaust Museum, and they're touched and amazed. I think going there, you get a different sense of what really transpired. And what's amazing for me, and particularly African Americans, is we got to remember how special we are. I mean, and this is a positive way of saying this, but for the millions of people who died, if you survived that, and you got the DNA from people, if you are in America, who have survived that, then you got to understand you come from greatness, because everyday person couldn't survive that. And I think that's what hit me the most, was when you sit there and you actually see, like, there's no way. I mean, there's no way today people could survive that, right? And if you can survive that type of injustice, that type of cruelty for that long, and then come over here and be enslaved and go through that here too, if you can survive that, you got something special in you. And I think that's part of why I think Black people need to go over there, because you get this sense of, you get angry, you get all those feelings, but if you can survive that, man, you got something special in you. You got to make sure we don't waste it.
Man, not just survive, but I mentioned it several times throughout the season. Plantations had laughing barrels for a reason. Not only did we survive, but we found joy, we found community, we found a reason to celebrate, we found art, we found a reason to flourish. We became billionaires, we started businesses, we invented. Like, not only did we survive, but we made it look good, like to the point where people try to steal our culture.
And it goes back to and Ghana is such an interesting spot, because it's really a brand new country. It's only been around for, really, if you think about when J.J. Rawlings took over and became the first Democrat elected president, we're talking only 30 years old. And so when you look at the mistakes that we did in America, both Black and white, you start to see them start to have the same conversation about affirmative action right now. Should there be 50% women? And they don't do it by race, but it's more, gender. And they're like, should it be 50% women in the police force, and those kind of things? And just having a conversation about, let's take affirmative action, the unintended consequences of where, affirmative action also produced people like Clarence Thomas. The affirmative action, for me, when I was in school at KU, it was like, oh, he must be a athlete, because, Black people can't go to college. And so that negativity that also comes, and just having this dialogue, and they're just like, we never had this conversation. And so just making sure that we don't repeat the same mistakes over there, but also making sure from America's standpoint, we don't forget what we've been through either.
Man,
feel that. You're taking me back to Michelle Trosclair, who also took the trip over there. She told us about those castles too in the last place, and the emotion that was flowing out of her about that. And she came back kind of feeling the same way. She had been touched in the way that you talk about it, and just is more of a thing that makes me just want to go, because I hear so much about it. There's a lot of economically a lot of things happening over there as well. I follow those cats, Earn Your Leisure, that are going over there, kind of building towns and putting things together as well. So a lot of excitement about Ghana, especially in this current climate. A lot of people talking about leaving the country, and Ghana is one of the ones on the list everybody keeps talking about. So,
Yeah.
so I was really interested in your trip and what you had to say there too. Also, Willie Hamilton, he put together the thing where we got the sister city going over there in Ghana. What do you know
Yeah,
about
so there's I forgot the name of this. It's not Accra, it's the one south of there, but yeah, he's been doing that and working on that for a long time, and I appreciate him for that. And I mean, the thing about Nebraska and Ghana is so interesting is that from an agricultural standpoint, from all these cultural standpoints, it just reminds me of Nebraska. I
Hmm.
mean, yeah, and I don't want to overgeneralize, but like when you think about black people are the same no matter where they are in the world.
Oh yeah.
As far as a culture, like you got tribes, you got not necessarily infighting, but all the things you see in North Omaha, the nonprofit complex, everything we talk about. I'm just sitting there and I'm like, man, this like we've been down this path. Like
Wow.
y'all don't have to make the same mistakes of relying on these nonprofits who come in and everybody makes money and then they leave and your community's actually worse because you then became dependent on them. And just like it was I'm just sitting here like, man, we if we just came together across the world, just come together, man, it would be crazy. So just that kind of stuff, and then hearing how tariffs and everything affects these small businesses over there and their markets, and how big the market for Ghana is and how wide open it is, and just watching what's going on over there, where you have leaders over there now building their own reserves of gold and kicking people out, saying they can't mine them anymore. And right now, France and another country, they used to get all their nuclear power, their uranium from the country north of Ghana, why I can't remember right now. But they just said, no, we ain't shipping no more uranium over there. And so now France is dealing with a little energy problem. But that's because they were getting it for cents on the dollar, right? So it's just those kind of things, man, that you start looking at it and it's like, everything I see going on over there has already happened in North Omaha. Like we just got to make sure we don't make the same mistakes.
Man, kind of been talking about that, as far as the asthma conversation and just as we start to talk to each other and communicate, man, that strategic communication lane, like as we start to communicate, amplify voices, we start to figure out that we're dealing with the same issues and might have the same solutions. So
Right.
I appreciate that. I do want to pivot a little bit and talk about this honor that you received, the title of chief. I know you're not, it's not about the title, but it should be acknowledged. And I just want to hear, how you went about how that happened. Like how'd you
I don't even know how it happened.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, so we go in, and because part of it is you have to pay respect to each tribe and their elders before you start trying to do business on their land. And over there, the tribes still own a lot of land, most of the land actually. And we just started having a conversation, and they were asking questions, and honestly, I was talking about the nonprofit complex of North Omaha, and talking about how I'm not coming over here just to make some money and leave y'all in the worst position.
Right.
And the one thing is that everybody over there has a phone.
Hmm.
Everybody has a cell phone. And so as I'm talking, I see them looking on their phone, and I'm thinking, oh, they're Googling me or something. I don't know what's going on. And we just start having this real conversation about Africa. And next thing I know, one of the sub chiefs leaves and comes back with this little bag. And now I'm thinking, I ain't gonna lie, I'm thinking, y'all, we might be like, this might be it for us. Like, this is one of the more conservative Islamic tribes. And I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I was nervous. We in the middle of nowhere where, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, y'all, we might not make it home. Like because they were getting a little rowdy too, a little bit, primarily about working with the government and talking to the government, and how the government really they feel has left some of the tribes behind, and the same conversations we have here. And then they all started talking among themselves. I don't know what's going on. And then they were like, who's your leader? And they were like, I guess me. And so we had some more conversation, and they said, we just haven't had an honest conversation like this in a long time. And they presented me, they skinned me is the words they used, as a chief. So I'm not gonna lie, I thought, is this something they just do like as a ceremony for like tourists? And so I didn't think anything of it other than like, this is really cool. And then at one point, the Paramount chief started talking, and the lady who was hosting us, Alberta, she started tearing up.
Wow.
And then I was like, okay, is this like real? Like, are we really doing a ceremony like that's not like tourists? And she looked at me and she was like, no, this is real. Everywhere you go, here's how you're going to have to pronounce your name. Here's how, like, this is law. And I was just like, okay, well, I got to give a gift back. Like, I can't, they don't gave me something. And so I was giving out Nebraska shirts, but I didn't have one. I ran out that day by that time I got there. So I went and took my Nike jacket and folded it up and was like, here, sir. And, basically he was just like, no, I don't need anything. You're a chief. You're a part of us. And ever since then, I still thought it was kind of like a tourist thing. And then we went to another tribe. She introduced me on my tribe name, which is Kasharu. And the other chiefs was like, oh, and like it changed the whole dynamic. And I'm like, man, this is kind of like real. And so yeah, we're planning on doing some things over there. And now that I am officially a chief, I actually can have land and do some things over there that I think was part of the barrier for why some of these people who go over there can't do anything or don't invest. Because if you don't own the land, you don't want to really invest in farming and things like that. Mm-hmm. So we're building now a what we call a demonstration farm over there of how it can be sustainable and how they can do maize, soybeans, livestock, and how we can create a sustainable farming system over there. So actually, I'm leaving today to go down to Lincoln here later on to meet with the university, and we're putting together an exchange program with University of Ghana to help facilitate these farms. But the thing of it is that wouldn't have been a possibility had I not been skinned as a chief. I'd be no different than the other NGOs going over there who don't have really any say or anything. And what we're trying to do now is, and this is why I say it's so interesting, because what we're trying to do now is we're going to put the chiefs as part of, and these tribes as part of the business. So they're going to be vested in these farms because they're going to be owning them. And they're just like, teach us what we need to know. And so a group delegations coming over well, we hope, and this is where it gets fun with Trump and the administration, is they keep changing visas, but a delegation was supposed to come over the first week of September. We were going to start in Omaha and then go to this thing called Husker Harvest so they can see expo on some irrigation equipment and things like that. And we've always brought people over here, but this year we set it up to where we're actually going to travel across the state. So we'll do one night in Omaha, one night in Lincoln, one night in Grand Island, and we're going to go all the way to Denver. And we're actually going to go to farms. They're going to be able to talk to farmers. They're going to be out here. I mean, it's like, because one of the guys, they're talking about irrigation. They really want irrigation over there. And I'm sorry to bore you with this, but I'll just say, then I'm showing them what irrigation is in like Nebraska. And one of them said, how far does that maize go? And I was like, for as far as you can see. And they just were like, this is crazy. Like, y'all have that much like farmland that just is dedicated to corn. And I'm like, we have more than you ever can imagine. And just seeing that kind of conversation and not coming in and saying, we're here to fix you. We're gonna come here, we're gonna tell you what's gonna work, and then it doesn't work, right? And so we're talking about building it from the ground up.
Man. Authentic, respectful conversation.
100%.
On your post, you said in the Gonja tradition, Kasha speaks to love, strength, and spirit, and Iwuru or Wura, is more than symbolic. He's a sub chief, a guardian of the land, protector of the culture, interpreter of tradition, and representative of the paramount chief. Very struck by this, and there was another part that you were struck by, buddy. Towards the end, I think of this post that really spoke to what we were been talking about too. And we just talked about youth in DC and what's going on in DC with the youth and the way that youth are getting swept up there. And they have the same kind of language as what's happening here in Nebraska. And it seems to me like there's a connection in Ghana too with the way that you're speaking about what we need to teach our youth, bring to our youth, and so on. You got that quote, buddy, that you?
Yeah. It's the last sentence in your post. And you made a few references to children and the next generation, and talking about how the roots run deep. But he says the last sentence says, may my footsteps echo through the soil of both Omaha and is it Busunu?
Yeah.
So our children never forget where we come from or who they are meant to be, which is very interesting. Even let me show the picture because this picture kind of goes right in line in what I'm thinking as far as a conversation around our youth, and really just call it what it is, a criminalization of black people. Because I see you in stripes.
Yeah. So what's crazy is I walked when I walked out, our driver, he was like, "Oh, you're a chief. I didn't know you were a chief, sir. I'm so sorry." Blah 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 blah. And I was like, "Well, how do you know I'm a chief?" And he was like, "The smoke." And so the colors represent certain things. And so I say all that so I just digress on that, saying that it was just weird because when I was walking around and I got back on the plane to fly back to Accra, like everybody was just looking at me like, this dude's like, it's different. This is a chief of one of the tribe. It was a weird feeling. But from the perspective of that last sentence, it goes back to kind of what I was saying before. It's like we lost so much history, right? Like we don't know who we are in so many senses that we can't figure out where we're going. And I think if people understand that there's greatness in us, that we got something special, that our kids can feel grounded in the fact that they know they're supposed to be something special too. And I think there's too many kids we have right now, particularly in America, who are hopeless. And that was the thing that I saw. I mean, you talk about some now Ghana has some very rich areas. They got some gated communities with houses that look better than the ones out in West Omaha. Like they got some money over there too. But then you're talking about some of the poverty I haven't seen ever. Like to just in some of these rural areas, it's so impoverished. But they don't ever lose hope. They're smiling. They're looking for the next thing. The young kids are working. They're working the farms. Crime is damn near unheard of. Like it's just hope. And I sit there and I look at that and I say, what's the difference? Like when I drive down Ames or downtown when all the kids are down at the park and they're being knuckleheads and they're cussing at each other and the lack of respect for humanity, and I'm just like, I think it goes back to we just don't know who we are.
Exactly. And it's not just, and it's not, to my point, it's not just that we don't know who we are, but we're told that we're something else. Going back to the whole point of this DC conversation, going back to the whole point of legislation that was recently passed in Nebraska to detain 9-year-olds and criminalize 12-year-olds. Our children are viewed as criminals, especially black and brown children. And put that picture back up because this imagery is so. Because when I think of people in stripes, the first thought I come to is prison uniforms.
Right.
Oh, wow.
So the juxtaposition of a man in stripes and how one would view him as a black and brown criminal, but you're talking about a chief. So when you say we got to remind our youth of who we really are, we're not criminals. We're not YNs. We're kings, chiefs. That's in our blood. And you can't change that. So when you said that, that's what I saw.
Man, I agree. It hit me. So like that, and then the castles. Those were the two biggest things. But it's all these little things that I'm seeing, and I'm just like, man, we are not that far off. And it comes back to I think just knowing who we are and where we came from and what our potential is, which is anything we want it to be. And so that fundamentally changed like where I'm at. Like it just, my whole mindset moving forward is just different now. I look at everything from a different lens.
Man. So with that said, let's pivot because Paul mentioned that you did make an announcement that you're running for an office. Are you still on that path? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. So I announced that I was going to run for a district court clerk position, Douglas County. Part of it is Crystal's running for Congress. Crystal Rhodes currently holds that position. And part of it is honestly, I want to be able to help the community, and I still want to be able to use my bar license and some of my attorney knowledge. And I think one of the most important systems is our judicial system and access. And that's what our office controls is access. If you want to file something, you got to go down there and talk to the clerk's office. You want to get a protection order, you got to go talk to the clerk's office. And so the other thing is in-depth custodies. That's by a grand jury. Well, you know who convenes it? The clerk of the district court.
Wow.
And so anytime you want to go down there and you got to get judged by your jury, the clerk does all that. And so how do we make sure that system's fair? How do we make sure that system has the technology and the infrastructure to run smoothly? And so just those kind of things. And yeah, so I'm excited about it. I think that office is the center of our justice system. So why not do it?
Well, with that said, knowing that you're going, working with Douglas County Attorney Office, there is a lot of chatter behind Sister Michaela Danner, throwing her hat in the ring. What are your thoughts about, her possibly running, or the possibility of you, working with Don Klein?
So, I mean, in fairness, when I started my law career, started down at the county attorney's office, and Don gave me a job way back then. I was a law clerk. Then I went to work for the railroad. I never actually worked for the county attorney's office. I mean, I'm gonna work with anybody because you got to work with everybody. I think Michaela getting in will be interesting. All I hope is that the dim on dim doesn't do too much blood damage and negativity that then it doesn't have to be a real race for Don Klein. So I think we got to make sure we hold our candidates responsible and accountable for how they treat each other, because that's the last thing you want to do is beat each other up to where the Republicans don't have to say anything. They can just point to what the Democrats say.
Who's the other Dem running?
Amy Jacobson.
Oh, that's right.
And so she got terminated the day after she told Don that she was going to run.
Right. He fired her.
It's crazy, but so yeah, I mean that, and I don't know who else is going to jump in the race. Just like with everything, I just think these are such a critical offices that I hope like I said, we don't go so negative that we beat each other up so bad that we can't survive in the general election.
Paul, any thoughts and questions?
No, we're getting them all answered, man. I wanted to know about that. I wanted to know where. I appreciate all the information you're giving us about that position too, because that's something I absolutely didn't know, and it's super important. I'm thinking of several situations where, like you said, it's the heart of the justice system as far as that's concerned. If you can get in there, it'd be great. What's going on with your campaign? The election is next year, right?
Elections next year. I'll be honest, I have not started campaigning. I am. Yeah, I'm still on the high from Africa. I'm actually planning on going back. I'm going back over there hopefully in October. Is what I'm looking at later October for the Pan African Government Conference, and I'm probably going to be presenting over there about irrigation and post harvest loss. And people are like, "What does this urban guy have to know about that?" Well, I helped set up a lot of structures out in Western Nebraska around, especially when I was down in Lincoln. It's funny, I get, everybody talks about all the stuff Justin did for North Omaha, but they don't realize I probably put more money in Western Nebraska than Western Nebraska senators. Because I just believe that the problems in rural Nebraska are the same as the problems in North Omaha. They just look different, but it's poverty and it's a lack of hope. And so my theory was if I could get it out there passed, then the next year I can come back and say, see, we can do it in Omaha too, and you already passed it out there, so you can't be upset now. So that was kind of my approach for a lot of things. So I don't know, man. I'm still on the high from Africa, and I'm just trying to, I'm down 100 pounds. I ain't got no stress eating no more. Late nights in Lincoln and driving back and getting back up and going back down there. I ain't got to worry about eating at 2 a.m. now. So life is good. I'm gonna get on the campaign probably late November.
Okay.
I see it on your face, bro. You look way more or less stressed than ever before on the show.
Yeah. Actually, RG in the chat giving some love on that. He says, "Well, the main slimmed down a little bit since he was last on. So looking good, feeling good, doing good. Love to see.
Man, we got to take care of ourselves, man. Self-love is a good thing, man. We got to take care of ourselves. So,
ain't that the truth?
So those who are in the chat, man, make sure today, just all I ask is you just text somebody and do a mental health check. Just check in with somebody and see how they doing.
There you go.
I'm not doing great, by the way. No, I'm just playing. It's 8. What is it? 8? What
9. Well, yeah, it's 8. I'm in Atlanta.
Our time's all off. 8:30 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we're with Justin Wayne. And if you missed any parts of this interview, you need to go back and check it out. Some profound things. Like I said, I really wanted to have you on before, but then when you dropped this post I was like, we got to hear about Ghana. We got to hear about it. You talked a lot about going and finding your purpose, going somewhere to find your purpose, and then when you got there, you were able to connect with people in a way that made it that they felt it was authentic, and bestowed the chief label on you as well because of that.
You got time for one short story about God? I think
please
so
do.
important.
Yeah.
So we had she's the granddaughter of the first Democrat president in our car, and we were coming back, and every half mile was a checkpoint where they looking for trafficking, et cetera, et cetera. And you always got some cops who looking for $1. It is what it is. But I had my little speaker, and we were just listening to music, and I was just DJing. We were all having fun. But every time we pulled up to the cop, I turned down my music, and I literally would put my speaker like underneath my leg. And this young lady was like, "What? Why are you doing that? Like what?" And I was like, "I ain't been triggered about anything since I've been here." And that was the day we came from the slave quarters. I mean, the trading post. We were driving back actually, and I was like, "None of that has fazed me. You know what's fazed me right now is every time I see a cop with a gun." And she looked at me and was like, "I don't understand." I said, "In America, we have a conversation by 10 years old, 10 and 2. You don't move, you don't look, you don't have anything shiny out there that they can mistake for a gun, or you may not come home." And her and the host and the other African people there, they were just dumbfounded about that culture that we have. "What do you mean? They're going to shoot you?" I said, "Oh yeah, like this is what we." And so she's like, and then she gets on her phone and Googles America Black like cops talk. And there's all these articles about how we as Black people have to get. And then the next day we met with her mother and some other people, and she was telling the story, and her mom was like, "Well, yeah, that's how America." Like people are dumbfounded that is kind of what was going on. And even our driver was like, "Man, you ain't got to do all that." I'm like, "Man, I ain't making no sudden moves. I ain't like he's still a cop with a gun." And they just couldn't process that has been ingrained in our heads since I was little. And we pass it on, right? We tell everybody, you gotta have to talk. You better have to talk with that kid. He or she's getting older. And that's just what I mean by goes to culture and what we are and how we think about. If we had that same talk about jobs, same talk about what you want to be, same talk about that same seriousness, maybe we could start changing the culture of what our kids think they need to be or should be, and how they view the world. Because that is so ingrained in me that at 46, when I still see a cop, I go back to 10 and 2. And it was just amazing that these people from Africa just could not fathom the racism that still goes on here, because America's so great, right? Because that's their mind. Like that doesn't happen. But she saw it every day. I mean, every half hour or whatever, a cop would put, "Man, I'm sliding that. I ain't moving," and I just got my hand sitting just like this because I'm in the back. That's where it really go down. So So it was just interesting for them to see that perspective, and then for me to kind of go back through that in my head and saying, "Damn, that is the culture we have." But how do we do that for something positive? How do we take that same culture that we've done for cops and the negativity? How do we start having that same conversation and build a positive culture?
Love it. All about it. I appreciate you telling that story. That says a lot. It says a lot, man. And I highly encourage. The other thing I highly encourage to do when talking to kids too, not just talk to them, have those conversations, but take them somewhere where they can see, where you can get pulled over and don't have to worry about it. And I'm all about travel. I'm all about getting people to see how other people live in other places, because it moves you profoundly in the way that you're thinking about it right now.
If you can see it, you can believe it.
Totally, man. Appreciate you. One last thing, Paul Philman in the chat is asking any updates on OHA lawsuit.
Yeah, we're waiting for a ruling by Judge Battalion. It's a technical. Worst case scenario, we would have to refile. It's a technical argument that they weren't necessarily given notice about this lawsuit, which is not, or about the issue, not the lawsuit. And so we argued that they've been on notice forever. We can point back to all the articles where everybody knows they've been on notice. And so it's just a technical argument. And so we'll know hopefully in the next 30 days if we need to refile or if we just keep moving forward.
Right on. Appreciate the update. Man, we'll have to have you back again, bro, especially when you come back from your second trip, another trip, and let us know how the progression is going with the farm.
Man, y'all got to make the trip with us.
Man, hey.
Hey, I'll shoot some dates so we can figure it out, man. It's yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
I gotta
Man, you ain't
go.
saying nothing but a word. Nothing but a
Definitely
word.
gotta go. Appreciate you, man.
All right, y'all be easy, man, and stay safe, brothers.
You the same, man.
Kashuru of Basunu. Chief Justin Wayne.
Man.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right, y'all
Thanks for
be
taking
easy.
time to speak to us common folk. Thank you.
All right, y'all.
Peace
All
and
right,
love.
man. Peace. Oh man, yeah, inspiring. I love it.
Man.
Great conversation. Great
Yeah.
conversation.
Woo.
I'm high just thinking about I'm thinking about the just putting myself in his
All right.
shoes on the trip, bro. I'm like, yeah, we got to get over there, man, for real.
All right.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna go. We'll go back into. We'll take a quick break and then we'll come back and we can jump into a little bit of what's going on here with the chat. Appreciate you guys sticking through there and hearing what Brother Wayne had to say. I'm just very excited. I hope you're as excited as I am about it.
Yeah.
Because yeah, it's a trip, man. It's a trip. Stuff like that really changes your whole perspective. It's really interesting. He was running for office, went on this trip, and he came back. He's like, "Yeah, I ain't even started campaigning yet, man. I'll get to it, but there's some other things happening. These connections are being made. I'm just like, yeah, that's what's up, bro. That's what's up.
That's what it's about.
That's what's up. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All Beee, buddy to God. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All Beee, buddy to God. It is season 3B. Space is the place. And yeah, man, feeling a lot of things about this connection that he says. There's a lot of conversations being had in Nebraska that are just like in Ghana. We started this thing off to be hyper local and really dig deep into the things that's going on, especially in North Omaha, especially North and South Omaha as well. And we very quickly figured out the connections between Omaha and the rest of the world. Omaha, Atlanta, Omaha, LA, Omaha, Texas, Omaha, Mississippi, the Mississippi of the Midwest. In so many different ways we're connected. And now, shout out to Willie Hamilton. Shout out to Michelle Troskler. Shout out to Justin Wayne. Shout out to Senator Terrell McKinney, making connections in Ghana. That is directly connected to us as well. And yeah, man, Pops, you said it. He said, now I want to go to Africa for real. Yeah, I hope he does shoot me them dates. I'm gonna be looking and be like, man, let me see what's happening. I've been trying to see what's happening with Ghana for real.
We gotta talk about it, man. Yeah. That's he ain't saying nothing but a word, man. So yeah, big shout out to Weatherman Wayne, Chief Wayne, man. I appreciate that conversation. That was dope. A lot of thoughts coming from that. If you mind, Paul, let's jump into the chat, man. The chat was going off. I do want to go back. Black Dynamite, brother Black Dynamite in the chat asked me a question about a laughing barrel. I mentioned it. He said, buddy, what's a laughing barrel? And I want to contextualize this answer by, going back to what Wayne was talking about, former Senator Wayne, about his reaction to the police and the culture that specifically Black Americans and the descendants of slaves in America deal with. It's a unique situation, unlike any situation in the human family. Understand what it is that was taken from us and has not been returned. So you ask me what a laughing barrel is. Happiness, the ability to laugh, was taken from us. So much so to the point where a laughing barrel during slavery was a practice where enslaved people had to hide their faces in a barrel to laugh, because overt expressions of laughter or happiness was forbidden and discouraged by white enslavers and could actually mean life or death. So happiness was and continues to be stolen from us, i.e. DC, where you can't even sit on your porch and smoke a blunt after work in a state where it's legal. A place where marijuana is legal, yet you're getting arrested for doing it on your front porch after work. Not bothering nobody, not taking anything from nobody, not threatening anyone, not doing anything but existing. That is the culture that we still deal with.
So next time you go somewhere and have a barrel of laughs, black folks, you invented that too.
Man, I think about that. Like, what if you took all the inventions that we actually like? What if you did actually take our existence away? What would you be left with? Why cut off your nose to spite your face? To that point.
Superiority.
To that point, Ariel's 402 says some Africans who came to America buy into colonization because it is so accepted here. And this is a thought that has crossed my mind as far as talking about white supremacy, talking about what the Trump regime is trying to do, trying to instill, trying to recoup. And you mentioned it, this whole idea of white supremacy and the proximity to white supremacy, because that's what that is. When you have Africans coming and accepting the colonization, if you look at it, a lot of their IDs say white.
Well, when you say what you say about it, most people in America are accepting colonization of all races, including Black Americans, a lot of Black Americans.
Yeah.
Because proximity to white means proximity to power.
Yeah. But again, why cut off your nose to spite your face? Because as we see, going along that thread, you're not safe. I.e. the Hispanics who voted for Trump. You see how that played out for them. And I'll just say it, man. Again, I urge people to watch the latest Grits and Eggs podcast, because that is a platform for Black people, by Black people, talking to Black people. And this is the reality that we're dealing with.
Everybody can understand it.
And on the world stage, it's either proximity to whiteness or proximity to blackness. Because if you go back, most countries, the further you go back, the darker they get.
Lots going on. I appreciate it. Marlon Harrison in the chat saying reminds me of an ending of Roots when Alex Haley went back to his ancestral African village. I think that's what, that might be the reason why I've always thought of it that way too, is because of being influenced at such a young age on Roots and understanding that he wrote a whole book. His lineage. I at one point was the person that was keeping a lot of the family records all the way back to the first slave in our family. So I totally understand somebody like Alex Haley, who traced all the way back to the tribe that he's from, and wanting to go back and figure himself out. And saying we're seeing this play out right now. We just talked to somebody who's doing the same thing. It's very, very interesting. Anthony Rogers Wright earlier said Ghana's first president, Nkrumah, was one of El Haj Malik's biggest influences and a socialist.
Man.
So another connection there with brother Malcolm X. If you don't know who El Haj Malik Shabazz is, and Ghana and his influences. So that's what's up. He says, unfortunately, Ghana is an opponent of the Alliance of Sahel states. There's still too much AFRICOM influence in that country. I don't know what AFRICOM is. I have to check it out. They're not going to be without their problems for sure, but the spirit and the hope that I'm feeling like talking to a lot of people that have gone. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing it's not just an idea anymore. I've talked personally to people. I mean, we are three griots, Michelle Trosclair, a host on this show. moved over there, lived over there, brought back a lot of stories about what's going on there as well. And I said, not to mention, there's so much happening with financial situations over there, with entrepreneurs and business people opening up opportunities there to be able to do some business. And as you can see, Justin Wayne was just saying the same thing about that. He went over there to have an authentic conversation and say, "Yeah, we would like to do some business, but not just like exploit you like everybody else has been doing.
Man,
We want to have some true partnership." And they responded very positively to that. And it could be something. When I think about that, it could be the answer. A lot of the answers it may not be that we pick up and move to another country. It may be, but it may not be as well. But centralizing everything that we got, you know, on the back of capitalism of this country might not be the plan. There may be some things that we need to invest in other places that would invest in us. I got a lot of thoughts on these issues here for sure. So appreciate it. Appreciate you guys spawning a lot of this stuff
man, yeah,
as
chat's going
well.
on.
hmm Yeah, chat is going off. What are you seeing standing out to you right now?
Man, a few things. Ariel's 402 still in the chat hanging out with us. He says, I'm happy for Senator Wayne. He lifted me up by me being in the presence of a Ghana chief. Okay. Feel that. Let's see. Also, few people talking back and forth, so going through that. Black Dynamite responding to the answer. He says, good Lord, barrel of laughs makes absolute perfect sense. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Tony Johnson's asking, anybody attend Nebraska Democrats Black Caucus call last night? Was any of these topics discussed?
Didn't hear about it.
Yeah, let us know if you did, and let us know what's going on with that for sure. If you did, Tony Johnson, let us know. Give us some words on that as well. Also, go ahead.
Anthony Rogers Wright also in the chat says, I don't think we should be lumping Hispanics into one bucket. Plenty of black people work for Trump, and many of them are Democrats. Cultural division is a tool of the colonizers, and I guess I don't want what I just said about proximity to whiteness to go towards any cultural division. Actually, the whole point in my comment was trying to turn black people into your boogeyman is not going to help anybody.
When you said that, my thought was too, there's a lot of black folks that voted for Trump too. So, I understand where he's coming from, but I think you're just using it as an example of a group of people that were voting against their own well-being.
Exactly.
And how that panned out. Right.
For proximity to whiteness and the illusion of power. Yeah,
for sure. He's telling me what AFRICOM is. He says AFRICOM is the African Central Command of the U.S. military, essentially the West's neo-colonial force to continue underdeveloping Africa.
Is that the command that they put the brother in? They basically put a black U.S. military brass to push that. Let me know. Yeah, they put a brother in there, try to pull the okey doke.
Kimra Snipes in the chat. They do that a lot, don't they? Kimra Snipes in the chat says she attended the Black Caucus meeting. Okay. Anything come of it? I'm sure that you got some notes, and love to hear what you wrote down about that. Let us know what came of that. But yeah, very interesting stuff. It's so low on the radar. I never really hear anything about the Black Caucus. Didn't even hear that there was a meeting last night, unfortunately. So yeah, I'd love to hear about anything that has come of those things as well. She also says, I share my organizing plan I came up with for CD2. I'll be sharing it with the DCDP 2. I also asked about what legislative priorities they plan to focus on. Did you get any answers?
Apparently they didn't have a list.
They did not have a list. They're looking to recruit members. Interesting.
It is.
Word.
And on that note, also what's coming to mind is the Commission on African American Affairs, and I just want to acknowledge that we're seeing the messages. We're seeing, people, what is it, commenting and mentioning us and tagging us in these posts and things like that. And I, without getting too deep into the conversation, apparently what's going on with Sister Gwen Easter, I just wanted to acknowledge it in this moment while we're talking about, black organizations that are supposed to, be for the benefit of us and the dysfunction with those organizations.
Right. Okay, there it is. We have a lot to think about and over the weekend really kind of figure out what's going on. Of course, we have our senators cipher that's happening on Monday. So any of these questions that you think the senators might be able to answer, Senator Ashley Spivey, Senator Terrell McKinney, then please get your questions ready for them as well. A lot of these issues that we're talking about here are directly connected. So Senator McKinney was in the news talking about what's going on with the coal plant. I can't wait to talk to him about what headway he made there with OPPD and all of that as well. So stay tuned for all of that. Also, before we get out of here too, we definitely want to continue this conversation about some of the development and stuff that's going on. Shout out to Miss Cheryl Weston, who's been out filming some of the buildings that's been going on 24th. She was out there like 2 days with the camera, just kind of live streaming some of the construction, saying it's a good thing for North Omaha. So it would be interesting. I think it's the townhomes that I think is what's going on. Watson Place. I think this is the area that she's been filming as well. If I might be mistaken about that, so let me know if I'm mistaken. But I think this is the place that she's been filming. She's got very positive things to say about some of the things that are happening here. It seems kind of new to me. I'm sure that we have talked about this new development over there before, but it did when it starts popping up, it feels like, oh, what is this again? Let me go find out what this is again. And figure some of those things out as well. Also, there's an article on North Downtown development as well, and some of the issues and problems over there, and some of the challenges they have over there too. And I'm always interested in what they call North Downtown. No, there's been a lot of different names for it, Makersville or whatever they're calling it over there too. Always trying to rebrand what's going on. It's basically just North Omaha. But it's closer to downtown, and it has institutions like Hot Shops and some other places around there. So they are always trying to rebrand it and kind of colonize it in certain ways, as far as I'm concerned, and build apartment buildings there that are kind of unaffordable for most people in the area. And they're trying to really put some separation there, but they're continuing to build. There's still a lot of land around there. There's still a lot of places that they could develop. And they kind of feel like that's one of the hot spots to develop in town. There's been, and I, know of some developers that own a lot of that area and some of downtown as well. So definitely something to keep our eye on and take a look at, and figure those things out too. So the development part is really want to keep our eye on, especially in this season. Space is the place. Really want to talk about spaces. There is housing, but they're trying to call affordable housing coming. There's buildings and things that have market rate housing and scaled housing as well. Actually, a little bit of a boom, a little bit of growth when it comes to home ownership. A little bit of a growth when it comes to home building again. Building is picked back up a little bit, even with tariffs on supplies. So it's worth having a new conversation and trying to figure out where we are with that. And this time around, I kind of definitely want to make sure that we are talking to people who are having problems trying to find homes, find places to live, and so on. We talked about this 2 or 3 years ago. We talked about everybody got to have a hookup just to be able to find an apartment. Just get if somebody owns something and you can rent from them and that type of thing. It got really bad for a long time, and a lot of us were hopping around that could afford to hop around, and then the homeless population shot up at that point. A lot of our houseless brothers and sisters wound up in even worse positions, and we've been hearing a lot more about that. And as you can tell by what's going on in DC, and not just DC, we already have reported on the war on the homeless here as well. There's been camps here that have been shut down, trucks throwing people's stuff away and hauling them off to jail here too already. But I think it's going to happen on a more mass scale now that they're seeing the examples of their colleagues doing it in other cities like DC. Messed up. What do we do about it?
Yeah, I'm even thinking about here in Atlanta. Again, there's a rampant homeless problem. Actually, earlier this year, somebody passed during the homeless encampment being, cleared out. They were crushed during the process. So yeah, by a bulldozer.
Oh, I hear.
Yeah. That was down here in Atlanta, man. So you think about the possibility of these activities not being contained just to DC, but you really do think of Black mayor cities with Republican governors. Atlanta, Omaha, Baltimore. We got family in all of these areas. So again, just keep your eyes open. Each one teach one. Communication rules the nation, and let's keep it moving.
Another thing we didn't really get into too, a lot of people have been talking about, is about that representative that was locked in the building, and what just passed. And she was went ahead and stayed there. They had quorum. They voted, and a lot of redistricting things happened as far as more basically modern day redlining went down in order to gain more seats for the Republicans. And then Gavin Newsom out in California pulled off the same kind of thing. It's about to go to a vote where they did a whole, but they said, well, we're gonna do it over here too, and they're trying to gain 8 or 9 more seats for the Democrats. So it's such a game that's being played with our lives that it's a trip.
Really is. And expect that to, those kind of activities to ramp up as we get closer to election season next year, and midterms, and possibly F around and flip the house. We'll see.
Yeah, speaking of which, we can hit a couple hats before we get out of here. Yeah, man. Let us know what's that dance always cracked me up with the fingers.
Mr. Bombastic.
Oh man, yeah, this is the one I hear. Mama God reminded me that the won't back down, F around and flip the house. It's Saturday, August 23rd. I don't even know where this is at, man. Get some good. If you're trying to go to this, get some information, figure it out. Senator Elizabeth Warren and Representative Maxwell Frost will be there. According to Anthony Rogers Wright, who usually got something to say about everybody bad, these two right here are all right. So
tough crowd.
But now I'm like, man, we gotta let's see what's happening then. Let's see what's going on. And that is definitely going down. Also, this just for some fun, people have been talking about this skates on the ground event, adult skate night. I don't know. This is gonna be funny. I kind of want to go just so I can film everybody falling down. No, I'm just playing.
I meant to ask you about that, Paul. Coming from LA, it's a if I'm not mistaken, it's a pretty famous roller skating rink out there in LA. You not down with the skating culture?
I don't know about the LA one. Growing up in the Empire, we had Stardust skating rink, and we hit that mug every Sunday for real. But I think it was a time frame in the culture. It was a time and culture thing too. At the time, like it fell out of skating rinks fell out of popularity later on in the 90s and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't know more. I wasn't about a culture. It was just what you did when you kid in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? So there's other cities, man. There's other cities out there that got whole skate crews and all kinds of stuff going on.
Atlanta.
Atlanta, right?
I mean, you seen ATL. Yeah, Atlanta's definitely, that culture is definitely
California
still
ain't no Atlanta when it comes to the skating.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, or it could. I mean, maybe, bro. Like I just wasn't into it. Even when I was going back in the 80s, I wasn't doing a whole lot of skating. I was at the arcade playing video games. So,
okay.
Till the couple skates started, and then the girl was like, "Come on, you gotta come." All right, I'll do the slow dance and go home.
Paul B.
That was about it. So that's what's up, man. I'm thinking about some more things that are going on. Like I said, please let us know what's happening this weekend. If you got anything going on this weekend, don't forget to go check out the Black History Museum with the March on Washington. I Have a Dream. It's a kind of a what do they call that? They're revisiting the March on Washington, which I think is really poignant right now. While they're marching on Washington. So check it out, 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at 2221 North 24th Street. That's the Dreamland building over there. So definitely go check that out and support that Black History Museum for real. There's a lot of good stuff going on with them, and we need it. We need to have that on deck all the time. So please support them in a big way. And then, of course, don't forget about the Love and Fest that's happening August 30th. Definitely check that out. Heavy hitters. If you don't know who Everett Harp, Paul Jackson Jr., and Jeff Lorber are, then you may not know much about jazz as you think, because they are heavy hitters in the jazz world and have been since the 80s, 70s even, with Jeff Lorber. So they get down. And that is on the 30th on Saturday. Just make it a whole day, because later on that night, the legendary CeeLo Green's going to be in the building.
Man.
outside, actually, at the Gene Leahy Mall at the riverfront. Shout out to Freedom Tainment, man, for bringing the big dogs out. What's
Brother
going
Gawd.
on, man? I
Yeah.
see With Love Felicia's going to be hosting this as well. So shout out to another Mind and Soul alumni.
Oh yeah.
Love Down Below, With Love Felicia going to be there,
Yeah.
and a
Chad
lot of other
Stoner,
people.
Anjali. Yeah, it's going down.
Chad Stoner, Anjali. This is going to be a show. I love how Anjali, when Anjali's playing the show, it's always like, yeah, the show was good, but Anjali and them killed it. Think about Donnell
Yeah.
Jones. Like Donnell Jones, he was good, but Anjali stole the show. As she often does. So
actually, speaking of Anjali and the events going on, of course, the Tending to Our Gardens Summit is going on today. But Anjali and the Timeless, they kicked off last night with the mixer for the event. So yeah, big shout out to IB Black Girl also getting down. Yeah, man, it's happening today. It's happening today. So if you got your tickets, check it out.
Before I know we're about to go right now, but I'm just thinking about Nicole Hannah-Jones and the strength of this woman right here. First of all, the intelligence and the wherewithal and the news gang journalism to come up with the 1619 project for New York Times in the first place. Turn that into a book, turn that into a movie, turn that into organizations that give out scholarships.
Man,
everything that's been happening amidst the attacks, amidst Trump himself. Like I'm starting the 1776 project to battle the 1619 lies. All we think we getting persecuted, but no, you ain't getting persecuted like Nicole Hannah-Jones has been persecuted in this last 10 years, 6 or 7 years, I guess. Big time strong. Listen, what the young girls are going to see at this summit because of her being here is powerful. Is this powerful? Is a Chief Wayne going over to Ghana and coming back feeling that way? When we bring people like this to Omaha, we let our young people see people like her, and hear her story. It can bring that same kind of hope and just it's just super powerful,
Yeah.
So,
especially in our vein with the news gang, strategic communication. Yeah, man, that's news gang all the way, all the way.
Day. That's a general in the news gang right there.
Yeah, man, for sure.
For real. Appreciate it. RG says someone from NHJ some barbecue from Smoking Doja, so she doesn't have to hit the McDonald's drive. I was asking. We had on Ange Bennett the other day. We were asking about whether or not we were going to take her to time out or do something.
Get it right.
So we got to get it right because it's a journey with the food out here for real. So we'll definitely see it. We'll definitely see it. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here, though. We appreciate everybody that is in the chat today and having conversations with each other.
Man,
y'all can continue those conversations off the show and have some conversation face to face, one on one, all that good stuff. And I appreciate you bringing it to the show as well. Appreciate you all the comments and everybody who is in the discussion because that's what this is about. And like Buddy always says, conversation rules the nation. That's what it is. You got some final words for the people?
Yeah, man. Again, big thank you to Senator Wayne for coming through and speaking with us. Really appreciate the insight, just the sentiment that he shared, and good luck on your bid for office. And thank you as always to the chat chimers, ghost listeners, and even the monitoring spirits for checking us out, man. Again, your energy was felt, your presence is appreciated, and we're gonna keep on keeping on because of you, man. So we appreciate you, we love you, we thank you, and catch the same time, same place, man. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here on First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul.
In the morning.
All right, there you go. Give you a little time to shine.
me.
Yeah,
in the morning.
Hey, there you go. So, yeah, man, we appreciate you. We love you. Look out for the weekly rap a little later on today. In the meantime, between time, Paul B.
Yo. Hey. Appreciate you, man. Pop says, what a phenomenal, thought-provoking, and ultimately inspirational show. And Paul, you are to be congratulated for keeping this high caliber of shows whilst having to get up at 3 a.m. to do them.
Man.
Pops, he's watching. He's watching real close. I appreciate it.
He tired, boss. He tired.
Well, I got appreciation for you. Now that I know how you got to get up, how you got to move to catch the show.
Man,
I appreciate that very much, and I appreciate all the chat chimers that get up and check the show out as well. So please, if you miss any parts of the show or the interview with Chief Wayne, definitely go back and check it out on YouTube. Like and subscribe over there as well. Share the show on your page. You can also do that even after the show is not live. Share it on your page on Facebook, especially. get as many people in the conversation as we can, get as many people commenting as we can, and anything that you guys got that you think we need to be talking about. Excuse me, Friends of First Sky Omaha, the group page on Facebook is where to go on that. And you can also hit us directly on firstskyOmaha@gmail.com, the email address there. Go check out the merch that we got over at firstskyOmaha.com. Hit the shop button. And also while you're over there, hit the join button and become a member or a sponsor of the channel as well. So shout out to the $10 people, the $25 people, the $50 people. Shout out to everybody who donates monthly in order for us to keep this going. It's time to all revamp what we support monthly. So please consider doing that with us. Please consider doing that with PBS. Please consider doing that with NPR. Please consider doing that with Eggs and Grits. Everybody who is out here bringing us some real information and doing the best we can in amidst all this mass propaganda that we're getting from the mainstream media all the time about what's going on with this here.
Fake news.
Fake news. Definitely check out the All Eyes on DC episode of Grits and Eggs podcast, please.
Man.
Do yourself a favor. Subscribe to Homeboy. It goes down. It goes down in a real way. One of the only ones that's really talking about something out here.
Man. As far as the podcast goes,
right?
Yeah, bringing people together. You know, it ain't the gender wars and the nonsense that you see on a lot of these podcasts. He's really speaking to the people.
For real. Thank you, Black Dynamite. Appreciate that. He said Sunday evening they have the Sunday night jam at Dreamland Park. Man, cousin Nate Bray out there. Everybody going out there jamming. My dog Grover Lipkins out there.
Okay,
check that out, man. Try to recreate some of that stuff that happened the last night of the Native Omaha days because it went down. It went down. Stay tuned for some footage of that as well. Like I said, like and subscribe over at YouTube because we're going to be dropping a lot of material here coming up. So we definitely don't want to miss that. But like and subscribe at YouTube and check us out over there all the time. And yeah, Buddy already talked about the newsletter coming today. If you don't know about it, we do a newsletter that we drop every Friday about 4:00. And if you have not signed up to that yet, then I'll go ahead and put this link in the chat for you to do so, because that's going to be very important, I think, coming up when it comes to what we got to do here for communication's sake.
Man,
Never know what's going to happen with these platforms here that are owned by these broligarchs. So we're using it now, but it may be where we got to be in contact via email until we figure out what the next platform is. So definitely check that out and be a part of that. We're keeping that up so we can do that very consistently, keeping that newsletter happen so we can stay in contact that way. So please do that with us, and yeah, we'll continue the conversation in a big way. Thanks to the Omaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Excuse me. And thanks for our elders. I want to give thanks to our elders for allowing us to speak before you. Thanks to you, the chat chimers, allowing us to speak with you, have all these great conversations, great comments that you guys add as well to the conversation, all the facts and all those things. And the fact that you guys spread the show around to other people that you think need to hear it too. I'm hearing that a lot from the ghost listeners. Like, oh, I heard about it from so-and-so. They said, I need to check it out. Now I watch every time. So,
man, thank you.
Really, thank you. Appreciate that. Shout out to Justin Wayne, former Senator Justin Wayne, Chief Wayne now. Really appreciate him coming through. I was very excited when he said, yeah, I can do it, because I definitely wanted to hear about this situation. Look more into Ghana and what they got going on out there now that we got a sister city out there as well. Find out what that is. And we'll maybe bring Willie Hamilton on to talk about it a little bit more. Because there's a big connection there happening, big connection, a big way. But we'll continue that conversation another time. In the meantime, you guys have a good weekend. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you on Monday with the Senator Cypher. Peace.
By the way, Van Lewis, this is protected by the Red